o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from Lincoln, America. Here's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
Husker Online, Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
And longtime college football assistant coach, Bill Busch.
I want to buy a couple ducks.
I'm bringing 2 ducks to the office.
This is Early Break.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen. Early Break. Bill Busch out in Kearney today for a speech. You can always find him at CoachBillBusch.com to book your own speech with Bill, but he'll be back tomorrow.
Say that again.
CoachBillBusch.com. He has a speech in Kearney this morning, but he'll be back tomorrow for the show.
You might be listening. Hi, Bill.
Bill, hello. Good morning. Hope you're getting ready for your speech and having some nice breakfast right now. Or chilling in bed, whatever you're doing. You never know.
I'm sorry.
You could be chilling in bed listening to this show.
Or he might be having chili in bed.
Now, that would be weird.
Yeah.
That'd be odd, but I wouldn't put it past anybody to have chili in bed.
I would put it past myself to have chili in bed.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't.
You know what? Now that
Exactly. Yeah. I think you have crumbs all over your bed sometimes. And
probably.
Soup spills and everything
Not
like that.
soup.
Could be. Cereal spills. Yeah.
Trying to go away from cereal a little bit.
Never go away from cereal.
I'm trying to go away from cereal a little bit. I've been advised.
By who?
TikTok.
There's a guy. Yep, I've heard enough. TikTok's telling you don't know cereal.
I always stumble across this guy on TikTok who has advice on life and fitness and diet. And yeah, he says that change to like sausage, eggs, and away from cereal.
That's because it's protein.
You burn it off way more.
Protein gives you energy. I get that, but cereal tastes delicious. How do you say no to a bowl of honeycomb? It's impossible.
It's virtually impossible.
It is. You can't say that.
So, yeah, Bill's not going to be with us today.
He'll be back tomorrow.
He'll be. He'll be back tomorrow. He might be listening.
Again, you want to book a speech with Bill? CoachBillBusch.com. He's speaking all across the state.
Yes.
All across the state, spreading the word.
Back tomorrow. I was kind of hoping he'd be here today to join us in this conversation about the coronation yesterday of the latest athletic director.
It felt like a king.
Yeah, it does. We do that here, don't we?
Yes.
We really do that. They might do that everywhere. I wonder sometimes. I don't have a great frame of reference because I've worked my entire career in Lincoln, 6 months in Grand Island. But do they have these coronations, these very elaborate, where even the governor appears and speaks?
Well, on this note, before we get into that, this is part of Idle Chit Chat, kind of on this message here. I'm curious. I was not there yesterday. I had some meetings and stuff.
We're in Idle Chit Chat right now?
This is Idle Chit Chat.
Okay.
Are you... This happens it happens so often out in Nebraska with the big hire, something big that happens that draws the whole media together for an introduction for somebody. Are you getting sick of all of this turnover every year?
No, I don't know that I would.
It's great for media. It's great for clicks. Great for all sorts of stuff for our shows, which is awesome.
I was just telling Missing Tooth Greg that I don't know that I'm getting tired of it. I think the novelty and the magnitude has the novelty's worn off. The magnitude of the occasions have worn off. I mean, because we've done it quite often with athletic directors and coaches. And a lot of the media remarked on that yesterday. It was sort of the feeling in the room was, and this is all very, I don't know if people want to hear this in the morning because it's not necessarily uplifting, but it's just the way it is. A lot of the media gathered, the feeling was, oh, here we go again. Here we go again. And there's sort of an eye roll. Like,
we were just here for Trev a couple years ago and thought this was going to be the long time answer. Now here we are again, the same thing, the same role. Do it again.
But here's the deal. That in means so much to people here. It means more than the W at Washington means to people. It does. You can say that. Generally, there's more passion, and any Washington fan, if you want to take issue with it, that's fine.
We have
but
listeners here.
They might be. It just means more than the Stanford S. You know, I don't want to go too far because there are passionate fan bases all over the globe, but Nebraska takes it to a higher level. It's been demonstrated that they take it to a higher level. It's if you were in Memphis, you would say that Nebraska is the envy of most of the country. And when you talk about
how they travel, you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you didn't see that. You see Houston turn
no,
out like that?
I talked to a Houston guy's like, I'm disappointed. I'm ashamed of the turnout of our fan base, Houston's fan base.
Sure.
He's like, I saw all this red. I thought Houston travels. Like, no, that was Nebraska traveling.
Okay, Houston. That's a number 1 seed.
Yeah, it is.
Can you imagine if Nebraska were a 1 seed? What that would look like in Memphis? What that would look like if Nebraska were a number 1 seed? We saw probably 10,000 people.
How about for even road games in general in the Big Ten?
Right. Oh, yeah.
Like a trip to Illinois might be a lot of red in the stands if they're at 1 seed.
This is what I mean when I say, and I don't say it lightly, that the end means more to us than a lot of the whatever the team means a lot at Tennessee. That's not the greatest example. But let's say the H at Houston.
Yeah.
I mean, Jake, I didn't even think about that till right now. Nebraska as a 1 seed would have filled the arena.
That was an 8 seed Nebraska.
It would almost be embarrassing for the NCAA. Wait a second. This is like a Nebraska home game, and this is not happening anywhere else in the tournament. Nebraska's filled the arena in Memphis because you were there.
I was there.
Am I wrong?
It was absolutely insane. Beale Street was packed. The arena, like it wasn't full, but it was a lot of. It was 9%, 90% Nebraska fans in there.
Texas A&M,
not more.
Texas A&M has a fervent fan base. Nebraska's the ratio was 10 Nebraska fans to 1,
if not more.
If not more. Okay, Texas A&M has a fervent fan base. It means a lot.
A&M was like pretty. They were like one section mostly.
Yeah.
Tight in one section. Nebraska was everywhere. They were across the whole arena.
If I were an A&M fan, I would be embarrassed by that scene. Where are we?
They put up 98 points in one.
Well, but I know they did.
Embarrassed by the fan support. Yeah.
Where are we?
Yeah, I have no idea what the attendance was for their game against Houston.
Oh, God, that 1 seed thing got me. I mean, if Nebraska were a 1 seed, oh, good God, the arena would have been packed with Nebraska fans. And it would have been a national discussion like, whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, it was already, it made a huge impression on you just the way it was. It made a huge impression on me. So there's some idle chit chat.
Yes.
God, one disappointing thing in idle chit chat.
What's that?
We're doing a little too much disappointment. A lot of the people that went to Memphis remarked what a dump it is. I don't.
So this is my first trip to Memphis.
I'm pushing back.
This is my first trip. It was not exactly the cleanest city in the world.
What do you mean clean?
I really enjoyed Beale Street. Okay, I liked Beale Street. That was the.
What do you mean it was unclean?
I mean,
it was clean.
I saw some areas that I was probably not supposed to see in Memphis because I was homeless.
You're
frazzled. I had my bags with me. I was walking through downtown Memphis, looked like I was, without a home, which I was for the moment.
Oh.
And then I went to different parts in the Uber, and I went to a golf course in a different part of Memphis, and I saw some things.
Well, you could see that in any city.
I understand. I'm not trying to crap on Memphis. I liked the town. I had a good time. It was fun. Beale Street was wonderful.
Thank you, Jake.
Wonderful time at Beale Street, which, again, I love the fact it leads right to the arena. You're right there. The FedEx Forum is right at the end of Beale Street. Perfect. Iconic street, iconic bars, and boom, you're at the arena.
You're at the arena.
Just like that.
Didn't they set that up?
That's cool.
Didn't they set that up fabulously?
They did. And kudos to Memphis in the arena structure with Beale Street being right there. Way to go.
As far as uncleanliness of any city. Oh, here's one more thing for idle chit chat that I hope doesn't bore the socks off of you. I'm fascinated by hotels and the way they're run and managed. I stayed in a Spring Hill Suites. You were with me for a period because we did our radio show there. You noticed how clean it was, right?
Yeah, I ate breakfast there too.
Yes, you did. And you noticed how it wasn't that it was great breakfast food, but what did you notice? It was well stocked, and that they had workers, workers plural, continually stocking it.
Yes,
that hotel. I've been to hotels since COVID that they don't do your room every day. They lack enough workers. This hotel wasn't a high-end hotel. It's a Spring Hill Suites. So it's lower on the Marriott chain. It was incredibly well run. It was, and I watch it close. I mean, I'd like to. I mean, if I wasn't a journalist, I was thinking hotel management, and that that place was extraordinarily well run.
And I would say the hotel I was at, which was much more expensive than yours, was not well run. I'm not going to call it out on the airwaves. It was the media hotel. I just thought it was. I mean, I thought your place was better and way cheaper too.
A well-run.
So good job by Sean or Robin for booking that place because it saved money and was probably a better experience.
A well-run hotel, for instance, is the person who does your room signing something. Her name was Juanita, and she would tell you exactly what she did and when she's going to be back every day. A well-run hotel is you go down and there's always someone at the front desk, and they're helpful. And a well-run hotel has a breakfast that you don't go down and, everything's out and there's no worker in sight.
Yep. None
of that was happening. A well-run hotel has valets on hand that are at your ready. And they had 3. I didn't even understand why they had 3. You saw the hotel wasn't that big, and they often weren't doing anything. Now you would say, well, that's not well run. That's you got to cut some fat. No, I don't know. Whatever. They were excellent.
A well-run hotel is somebody sleeping at the front desk when we're trying to get back into the hotel at 5:30
that was a problem.
In the morning.
Okay, so you came with your equipment.
Yeah, and you walked out to find me. I said, I know where the hotel is. I just saw it. Now, you were trying to help me. I said, I've got 2 things to carry. I'm good, but I appreciated that.
We got stopped at the door because they had to let you in from the inside. And you're right. That was a glitch. The young lady
was in the back. And,
she was sleeping.
And she was asleep.
Her head was down. You could see her.
I had to knock on the glass. Hey, ma'am, could you please let us in?
Now, I give her a level of grace because she worked the overnight.
And it was 5:15 or 5:20 in the morning.
She worked the overnight.
I'd be asleep too, possibly.
Possibly,
but got to power through.
Yeah.
That is Idle Chit Chat.
That was
sponsored by our friends at Newton's Lawn Care. Please call or text Andrew in the squad at 402-440-6297. 50% off your first fertilizer application this spring. Again, 402-440-6297. Newton's Lawn Care. All right, you were at the press conference. Troy Dannon, new Nebraska athletic director, was at the podium. He was at the to-do, but you missed beforehand, right? You did not go to the to-do?
I didn't go to the to-do. They had invited guests at West Stadium, and I'm going to say 6th floor.
6th floor. Yeah.
Was it?
It might have been 4th. I think it's 4th. 4th floor.
So they had Jake, 4th. So they had that was invited guests, and the media was invited. So he spoke there. Now they piped that into the media room in the Hawks Championship Center. So I saw Troy Dannon at his to-do and at the media session.
At the Q&A, yeah.
Yeah, and I was struck by one thing, or I was struck by many things.
We have some audio, but what were you struck by?
Well, right away, when he came down to see the media, and I don't know, I'm struck by small things about people. Just, we don't need to get into this too much. But his first line was, "How's your week?" He asked us.
I heard that.
Now, I pay attention. I always pay attention to people. People who ask you, "How's your day going? How's your week going?" That is, a lot of people don't do that. I might go through an entire week without anybody asking me how my day's going or how my week's going.
How's your week going? There you go. Happened again. That's twice in 1 week. Boom.
But that, I try to do that with people. And it was nice that the center of attention, in this case, Troy Dannon, I think it's informative that he had, he asked us how we were doing. That's tells me a little bit about him. I think he's that type of person. He was revved up yesterday.
I would hope so. As your press conference, you're announcing yourself to you. Now, if you're kind of like in the dumps or down, I think we would say, "Oh, that was weird." Mm-hmm. We're not saying that though. It was a normal press conference. Now, you had the first question to Troy Dannon at the Q&A. You, Steve Sipple, Husker Online / The Ticket.
I was supposed to.
You did not announce yourself, by the way. You said Steve Sipple, and then that was it.
So Keith Mann, our friend, instructed us, the media, to say your name and affiliation. And I just didn't do it.
But you had the first question and it said nothing, right? You just asked the question.
I didn't say my name and affiliation. I don't know why I didn't.
And the second time you did, though. You asked the second question, you did say Steve Sipple.
I felt compelled.
The second time.
Yeah.
Later on in the Q&A.
Right.
Your question was about the relationship, how important it is with 1890, with the collective in general. Here was Troy Dannon's response to that yesterday at the press conference.
Because the number one commitment to success is to the student athlete. And as I mentioned, in the day, that might have been providing a strength coach. In the day, that might have been a laptop. In the day, that might have been a coach who was going to prepare them for the next level. In the day. Today's day is there is a sharing of resources with the student athletes. And so if we're going to compete, if we're going to recruit and retain, everybody in this department has to support what lies ahead for student athletes to be a part of the economic model of this. Today, it's NIL. Tomorrow, it's going to be something different, and we will pivot and evolve into that. But so it would not, I would be missing if I tried to avoid the reality of what the name of the game is today. There are a lot of things. I joke when I went to Tulane, there are no such thing as a transfer portal. Nobody ever contemplated NIL. There was no such thing as a lot of what we're dealing with today. So I will be beside and embrace everybody in the collective and try to make sure our athletes and our coaches know the role of the collective in helping them do their job and helping build winning programs and helping the student athletes benefit from the revenue that's driven by this enterprise.
Now, help me out, Sid, because I forget what if is in the opening to do or later on in this press conference, but he did go further on about 1890 saying he's going to wear gear.
That was before.
At the to do?
Yeah, he said, okay, I'll wear 1890 gear about as much as I'll wear Husker gear, which is an about face compared to the previous AD.
Yes.
That was there's a couple revealing things. We'll get to the stadium project later.
We will.
That was very revealing that how much he embraced 1890 out of the gate. The previous AD, we covered this yesterday, but for the sake of this conversation, we'll double back. The previous AD barely acknowledged 1890, didn't have any, it just showed little to no interest in 1890. In fact, tried to start his own not his own collective, but he supported another collective that never got off the ground. Trev's approach to that whole situation was odd. It was very odd. I don't know. I can't explain it, but the way he stiff-armed Nebraska's collective was, I'd say, dangerous. Why? Because it's the Peds. Okay, why would you stiff-arm the Peds? The Peds are the equivalent of T. Boone Pickens.
Yes, they are. You're right.
Quietly. They're quiet. T. Boone Pickens wasn't quiet.
No.
The Peds are quiet, but they're powerful.
Yes, they are.
Like T. Boone Pickens. Why would the sitting AD stiff-arm the Peds? It was a dangerous game he was playing. These are billionaires.
They are.
They're funding 1890. They fund we'll call it the logistical aspects of it.
They have a company that's global. Sandhill's global.
Right. And so they supply attorneys and accountants.
Yes.
And all this is very necessary. NIL shops aren't mom and pop operations. They're elaborate. There's millions of dollars involved. Nebraska's probably got, I'm going to guess, $10 million ready for athletes. Okay. It's not a small thing at Nebraska. So now you have this new AD come in and talk openly about 1890, and it breathes life into 1890. Not that they were functioning just fine with the previous AD, who I have said did a good job here. He did a good job.
But no AD is perfect.
No.
And they have holes in their game. And again, Trev
had a hole in his game.
He did. And I don't know why you'd push against the collective that's
I don't
trying
know
to
that
help
he
you.
pushed against it. Maybe
like
I said
supporting
stiff arm. Yeah, he didn't support it. There's distinctions to be made. Push against and not supporting aren't the same thing.
They're siblings though.
Yeah, they're siblings. But so now Troy Dannon, 57-year-old Troy Dannon from Marshalltown, Iowa, comes in and says he'll wear 1890 gear. It's just an about face. And it's the way it should be, frankly. Because why? Because there's nothing more important, and there should be nothing more important to an AD than the student athlete.
He made that very clear yesterday, several times.
Yeah.
Several times he said that.
Right. The AD takes care of the student athlete first and foremost. The AD, the previous AD would always say he wants to be he'd always use that servant leader phrase. I want to be a servant leader. I'm looking for servant leaders. Well, Mr. Servant Leader, I mean, you have to pay your student athletes now. And it's not an easy game. And there needs to be support in the athletic department. It would be nice, for instance, if you would maybe give 1890 a lead to a donor that is interested. Those leads never came. They never came.
No.
There's an elaborate fundraising team at Nebraska that could at least supply leads to 1890. Never happened. There wasn't collaboration. I bet there will be now.
So again, Troy Dannon spoke yesterday. Anything else that was we played the audio about the NIL 1890. We mentioned the fact that he's going to wear 1890 gear. I'm looking at your colleague Robin Washit's 5 things he took away from the press conference.
All right, check that out.
And he says number 1, he says Dannon calls move to Nebraska and Big Ten a seat at the adults table.
Right, meaning the SEC and the Big Ten are in charge, essentially. And if you look at the college football playoff revenue distribution model,
yep,
you would see that. It's pretty obvious. Now, he was out Washington, which has a seat at the table as well.
Oh,
now,
keep
in mind that Washington's coming into the Big Ten with a half share of the revenue pie. Okay, they only get a half or a period. So he's coming to a place where there's a full share of the pie. He's also coming to a place that doesn't. Now, he never talked about this, but I read reports, Seattle Times, over the weekend. Washington's athletic department, according to the Seattle Times, has an $8 million deficit. He's not coming to a place with a deficit.
You think he picked that up at the press conference? No. Now, I know I left that place with deficit. How much of that was his fault, by the way? He was there for 5-6 months.
Right. I just wanted to point out that people, people wonder why. Why come from Washington after only 5 months? Why? Well, there's reasons. Having a seat at the big boy tables, he says, is one. He's from Marshalltown, Iowa. That's another one. He feels he's back to quote unquote home. He feels he is at a place where everything is in place to win championships. It's all right here. It's not happening in some sports. It's happening at higher levels in some sports than others. But he says it's all here. You can tell that Rule was critical. That he said I don't know if you have that sound. I asked him his relationship. When did your relationship with Rule begin?
I have that one.
Hit it.
Here's Troy Dannon on that.
It was back to his days coaching at Temple when I was in the league. And, I think we share a mutual friend in Pat Kraft, and it's been written about. But, Pat and Matt are close. And I would say Pat's one of my 2 or 3 closest friends in the profession. All the way back to with Pat when I was at Northern Iowa and Loyola came into the league, and he was the director of marketing at Loyola University in Chicago. So, there's a lot of relationship going back what we just said, people and relationships. There are a lot of relationships in this business. And I think it was through Pat that Matt and I first started to connect and realized, we have a lot in common. Our wives have been texting throughout this. They've known each other. And so in some ways, it almost feels like family walking in and working with that football staff.
Okay. So Pat Kraft, the Penn State AD, and Troy Dannon have a relationship that dates back to when Kraft was at what, Temple, and he was at Tulane. Okay, they're friends. Now tell me, you call me crazy on this. Wouldn't that make it harder that if Penn State, if it eventually turned to Franklin's not working or Franklin takes another job, wouldn't it be hard for Pat Kraft to look at his friend and say, we're coming after?
No, it would.
Are you sure?
Maybe harder, but still not hard. You know what I'm saying? Your alma mater is your alma mater. Matt Rule's a Penn State guy. Now, I'm not trying to freak the fan base and say, oh, God.
No, you're not.
I
broached this.
No, this is just reality. We all know that if that job ever opens up and Matt Rule is doing well here, then that's going to be, number one of the first calls, if not the first call, that program makes. Harder. But we're not at that point right now. We enjoy the now of what we have.
No, it's not your fault. I raised the issue. So it's not, you're absolved on this one.
Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Yeah, you're welcome. I think it'd be harder. I mean, they're all three friends.
Fine. Harder, but not hard. Fine. I'll give you that.
What else?
I want to play the quote. So you mentioned the fact that he talked about the Big Ten and SEC kind of being the leaders in how things are going. Here is the quote on that in general. The advantage of being a Big Ten athletic director leading into that.
I think the world is going to revolve around the Big Ten and the SEC. I think we saw it with the college football playoff revenue distribution model that came out. I'm really, really impressed with Commissioner Petitti. I've been around a lot of commissioners. I love his vision. I love his aggressiveness. You want to be at the place. I'll use the Thanksgiving analogy. I said at the kids' table for a long time. I wanted to be at the grown-ups table, and not in a negative way, but the Big Ten is the table to sit at because that's where decisions will be made. That's where the future will be determined, and that's where fate will be set. And you want to be in those positions rather than wait for somebody else to determine those things for you. So, if I ever left Tulane, it was going to be because of the Big Ten or the SEC, because I want to be at those tables.
Two other things we need to cover.
Okay.
One was, I feel like, an unfair question. And my fairness meter it works very well. Unfair, I think, to ask him, okay, there might be some fan concern about the fact that you're only at Washington for 5 months. What, is that, should fans be concerned that you just might be a short time, or that you're going to hop, just hop to another job quickly? Unfair question.
Yeah.
Now, he answered, and he'll tell you why. And he bristled a little. It was really the only time, I think, during the two availabilities that he bristled a little bit. Do you have that sound?
I don't think I have that. I'm trying to find it, but
well, don't worry about it. What he said was, wait a second. I mean, he didn't say wait a second, but he said the equivalent of wait a second. His tone was, wait a second. I served in this high school role in Iowa for 16 years. Do you have that?
I don't have that. No.
I served at Tulane. I served at Northern Iowa for 8 years, at Tulane for nearly 8 years. So his track record really doesn't suggest that he just skips around. So I thought the question was unfair.
I knew it would be asked by somebody.
I didn't get it.
But
why?
But I also thought, this is somebody it's clearly it's still a Big Ten school. It's back close to home. And he was at Tulane for 8 years, in Northern Iowa for
8 years.
8 years.
8 years.
So,
and in this high school role, like for some sort of high school, I don't know what it was, but he was there for 16 years.
We know it's a 6-year contract here as the AD of Nebraska. That was announced on last Wednesday.
Right. I'm not worried about him skipping out. I'm not.
Well, you have a jaded fan base because they thought the previous AD was not going to skip out anytime soon. Trev Alberts is a legend as a player at Nebraska. We didn't see him leaving after 2.5 years on his own terms, right?
No.
That's why. So that's why.
Not at all.
You have a fan base on edge in that regard.
Okay.
Understandably so. No one saw that Wednesday happening for Nebraska football.
Nobody saw it.
It's still stunning how it went down.
It is.
With the fact there's not really But we had to dig into some your interview you guys had with you and Sean had that maybe showed one inkling of concern, but
about the president.
Right, but it wasn't a pressing matter. It seemed that he's like, this is going to force Trev out next week, which happened.
By the way, okay, so that was one thing. Another thing that was interesting to me was, and I wondered about this. I didn't know until yesterday exactly how this all went down. Chris Kaborik, the interim president, made this hire. I thought maybe it was made in sort of conjunction, I guess, with Dr. Gold, Jeff Gold, who's now the priority candidate. After 30 days, will become the NU system president. No, it was Kaborik. He made the hire. He hired. So Jacob, I guess going forward, don't get caught up in the machine too much. Like, don't get caught up in, he's not gonna come to Nebraska with an interim president making the hire. No, it's fine. It's
still an odd picture to me that somebody's not going to be in that role made that hire, and it was just approved. I mean, again, maybe that's me being questionable here, but I think it's an odd look. But
sort of odd, but I'm not going to get caught up in 30-day. Just don't get caught up in the procedural elements of these things too much. You just got to go make the hire.
I've always thought an interim making a permanent hire in that regard that's a big job. Big decision.
There was obviously some level of assuredness, I think, that he must have received from the governor. He talked to the governor.
Pillen spoke yesterday, by the way. He spoke at the opening to-do. I saw that.
You don't see that everywhere. I'll tell you that. You don't see that everywhere with the governor speaking at a coronation of an athletic director.
In his blue jeans?
It's fine. He's from Columbus.
Fine. Yeah.
He's from Columbus.
Go Columbus. When we come back, we'll talk to your colleague, Husker Online, Sean Callahan, next on Early Break on the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Looking for a job that feels like family? Join Lincoln Industries, where tradition meets innovation. They're a family-owned, privately held manufacturing company with a passion for excellence and a commitment to their community. They have openings on all shifts at both the main plant and air park facilities, offering flexibility to fit your schedule. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, there's a place for you there. At Lincoln Industries, they invest in their people's success, providing opportunities for growth and advancement. Apply now and become a part of something special at Lincoln Industries. Spring is a time of new beginnings and trying new things. If you haven't tried Fuhrer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For parties for St. Patrick's Day and Easter, or celebrating the NCAA tournament with friends, there's no better dip to bring everyone together and celebrate something from Nebraska. Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fuhrer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Jake Sorensen here for The Body Shop. My wife is nearing her due date with our first child and has been in need of a good massage as her body continues to change and adapt. Dennis and the team at The Body Shop were incredible with the prenatal massage that she's still talking about today. I was also able to get a deep tissue massage, so it was a great bonding experience and a unique couples massage in general. If you're in need of stress relief, book a massage today at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations. Guess what?
What?
There's 5 Lincoln locations now. Oh my gosh. That's 25% more Lincoln locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside 93.7 The Ticket Studios, 1040 O Street.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
We're on the air. Back.
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
To more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Spring football is underway, yet the story so far this week is all about Nebraska's new AD, Troy Dannon, who took the podium yesterday to introduce himself to the media at both the to-do beforehand and also the Q&A at the Hawks. You said the to-do. We're joined now by Husker and Lion Sean Callahan. Sean, good morning. I'm curious. Troy Dannon made it very clear yesterday that he is going to be hand in hand with 1890 and support that and even wear their gear from time to time. Why did it not feel like Trev Alberts embraced them, and why does it feel like Troy Dannon's making that important off the bat to do so?
Yeah, I think there's a lot there. I think Trev always had this thought and feeling that NIL was going to fully move in-house, maybe quicker than it was really going to do, and he wanted to try to put an in-house NIL structure in place. And so he almost kind of kept operating in that and tried to form his own collective, or at least, get it going. It was called the Big Red Collaborative, and it never got off the ground. And 1890 formed, and then for a while they were competing collectives, even though the Big Red Collaborative never, even was operational, but they still recognized them as a collective, and you could donate money to their collective. And so it was an odd deal when you go back and look at the last year or two of how these things all played out. But you're right. When you have a booster family that's willing to eat all the operating costs to run a collective and put millions of their own money into it to backstop it, I don't know why anybody would get in the way of that.
Sean, you handled that very well. That was a very revealing part of yesterday, that he said Troy Dannon would wear 1890 gear as much as he wears Husker gear. A major change. What else? Okay, the other thing there's a few things that struck me. And another one was, this was definitively Chris Kaborik's hire. The interim president, my read yesterday, and it was the only read you could probably come away with, was that the interim president made this hire. Does that, what's that? Why is that meaningful? Is it meaningful? Does it mean anything to you? Am I making too big of a deal of that?
Yeah, he did. You're right. And I think, though, you had the support and the heavy involvement of Matt Rule and Governor Jim Pillen. I think those two gentlemen behind the scenes were really big in this process. And Kaborik obviously was the only person in that position, along with the regents, to kind of sign off and move this forward. Dr. Jeffrey Gold is not, he's the choice candidate of the Board of Regents to be the next president. He was there yesterday, stood in the back. I was actually stood right next to him in there. So who was probably going to be the next president was also in that room. But you're right, the interim president, it was his day yesterday, as he was kind of the MC of the event, more or less, the way the day was laid out up there.
I think that, we understand in general why Dannon came to Nebraska after a few months at Washington, but was it a fair question to ask Sean why he was at Washington for such a short term before he chose Nebraska eventually?
I don't, in that setting, no, because I think he answered it beautifully. He said, look at my history. I mean, I've been everywhere. I mean, look at how long he was at Tulane for. Yep. And the thing at Washington was kind of an outlier of his entire body of work of what he's done. To me, it's two things. Number one, getting back to the Midwest. He wants to be in the Big Ten. He made that clear, the SEC and the Big Ten, and where you want to be in his role, because you have a seat at the adult table, as he likes to say. The other thing, money. I mean, Nebraska is giving him significantly a better deal than what he had at Washington. $600,000 more per year. So he made $1 million at Washington. He'll make 1.6 here. He'll get an annual raise of $100,000 per year over the life of the deal. Washington had him at a 2% annual raise. My math's not that great this morning, but I think $100,000 a year is a lot better than 2% annually at a $1 million deal. So Nebraska had to pay to get him, but they were already paying because of Trev Alberts what he was locked into, and they're getting over $4 million back from Texas A&M as well on the buyout end.
Okay, Sean Callahan joins us from HuskerOnline.com. We have this major coronation. And we got a lot of information yesterday, and we had a lot of time to listen to Dannon. What now, just back up a little bit, zoom out, go to 30,000 feet. What'd you think of? I mean, what were your impressions of the new AD? What'd you come away thinking?
Well, I thought he's a good fit here, and he's from this part of the country, and he's a good people's person. I mean, he kind of reminded me of like a younger version of Barry Alvarez.
Okay.
Just a guy that, he's a dude. I mean, he can go in a sports bar and sit down, have a beer, and talk and relate to people. He's definitely not a Sean Eichhorst style corporate AD. I think he's got a very approachable style, and I do think he's going to run the department. I don't think he's going to be a guy that's going to sit back and have other people run. I mean, Bill Moose was like that, but he had other people run the department. I think this guy has some of that quality of being Bill Moose, that's going to get out and about, but he also is going to run the show. So I think he's a good mix of everything that you want to see as an AD.
Oh, by the way, Sean, spring football started on, I guess Monday was the first day. Spring football has started very quietly at Nebraska, as quietly as I can ever remember. Okay, Jake has a question on the sheet that's a good one. Dylan Raiola is probably the most intriguing player for Nebraska this spring. Who is number 2 on that list?
Oh, boy.
Come on, Sean.
I would say Jamal Banks. I just think he's going to be a big part of things. And you look at him in the transfer portal, he turned down Notre Dame and Michigan and Wisconsin and several other big programs. He visited all of them on official visits before he came to Nebraska on his last. I think he took 6 or 7 officials before he got to Nebraska. They're all Power 5s. So Nebraska really fought to get this guy. He was a second-team All-ACC player the last 2 years. I think just his inserting him in the rotation, he could be, one of the better transfers they've added.
Sean, always good stuff. Thanks for the time. We will chat with you again next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Great online, Sean Callahan. Yep. Lots to get to. I mean, you're right. I think what you just said is absolutely true. It's such a quiet story now. Spring football has begun. Even the buildup has been so quiet because of Nebraska basketball in the tournament. Both women's and men's basketball made the tournament. That was the focus, as it should be. And then all of a sudden, Trev Alberts leaves Nebraska, and you have a new AD in Troy Dannon. And that all understandably takes a front seat compared to football.
It's amazing.
Which is just in the first week of spring football. But it's amazing. We have no buildup, And now it's just here.
It's here, and there will be media availability tomorrow. In fact, we'll be able to watch practice. So there'll be I would say like a fire hose effect tomorrow. There'll be, because the media will swarm over there.
It'll be a swarm.
We'll watch. What do you think we'll be watching tomorrow?
Some drills.
Dylan Raiola.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just go over there and watch the safeties tomorrow.
Bill would say, "Did you watch the line at all?"
Well, I have to watch.
I was watching the quarterback.
Yeah,
this
I
time,
have to
Bill.
watch the line, but you won't watch those quarterbacks, particularly the big horse, Dylan. So the fire hose effect will be in effect tomorrow. But yeah, it has started very quietly, and I have said this is about as intriguing of a spring as I can remember, because it's Matt Rule, second year. Matt Rule he makes it sort of intriguing because of the way he is, because how revealing he is in talking about his team, but also because there's 23 newcomers in spring ball. 23, 17 scholarship players, 6 transfers. Dante Dowdell, for instance, I would imagine will be operating as the number 1 running back. Gabe Irvin not on hand. Ramir limited. That kid from Minnesota, maybe.
Emmett
Johnson.
That kid.
He would get the number 1 reps right off, since he was the number 1 at the end of the season. But yeah, you have Dowdell over there. You have Banks. You have Isaiah Nayor. You have Alexander from Syracuse. Stefan. It's just, and of course the quarterback situation. And then also what Matt Rule said about the talent on the roster. He said, if there's one thing we've done well here, is put talent on the roster. Okay.
Well, you look for Jamal Banks and
talent on. Yeah, well, I definitely will. I got a good feel for him though, because there's so much film on him. I know what he can do. I mean, he made 63 catches last year.
I'm looking forward to seeing him in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Thanks again to Sean Callahan joining us on the Allo VIP hotline. Before we get to break, segment 2 always sponsored by our friends at Beck's Hybrids, the largest independent family-owned seed company in the USA. Look at my hat, by the way. What does that say?
Beck's.
It says Beck's on it. Founded in 1937, Beck's Hybrids provides unrivaled customer service and product diversity for both corn and soybeans. A company founded on the 3 F's, faith, family, and farming. To find your nearest Beck's Hybrids rep, head over to beckshybrids.com. When we come back, it's time for the Mailbag and Song of the Day. Next on Early Break on the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round. And their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
NEPCO is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEPCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEPCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
This is Monster Jam.
Witness big air, 2-wheel skills, backflips, and all-out racing. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Brought to you by the Original Super Glue. Stop by your local participating Westlake Ace Hardware locations for your $10 savings coupon. Restrictions may apply. See store for details. Coming to Pinnacle Bank Arena this Friday and Saturday.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Problem gambling can destroy an individual's finances, relationships, physical, and mental health. If you are a loved one or struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Spring is a time of new beginnings and trying new things. If you haven't tried Fuhrer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For parties for St. Patrick's Day and Easter, or celebrating the NCAA tournament with friends, there's no better dip to bring everyone together and celebrate something from Nebraska. Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fuhrer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Hello? Believe it or not, old phones are one of the most common pain points in offices today. Many of these phones are beyond repair because parts aren't available to fix outdated devices. Whether it's a traditional phone system or cloud-based VoIP technology, Hamilton Business Phones can help upgrade your connection. We make it easy to sync your office phone with your cell for seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you deserve better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through March 31st, gear up for Easter with USDA Choice Whole Boneless Ribeye Loins for $12.99 per pound. Fairway's Hickory Smoked Boneless Pit Hams for $4.99 per pound. USDA Choice Whole Beef Brisket for $3.99 per pound. And all natural pork bellies for $2.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone back with the latest update from Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, your new car selection keeps getting better and better every month. Can you tell our listeners all about it?
You know, it sure is, Charlie. It's great that our customers can come in, pick out a new Honda, and drive away with it that day.
How many new Hondas do you have in stock?
Well, right now we have just about 100 in stock.
Hey, I hear you've won some very important awards in your service department. Tell us about them.
Well, the first one is we won the award for the first fixed award. So the cars are actually fixed on the very first time they're brought in. Second award is our Customer Service Experience Award. And then our third award is our Honda Express Service Elite. And we rank the best in quality and customer satisfaction.
Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
You're spending $300 a month. Binge drinking is the most common form of excessive drinking, which costs the United States more than $191 billion each year. By drinking less, you will save $300 a month. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of your liberty in pursuit of your justice for those that have been injured. My name is Matt Knight, attorney with Liberty Law Group. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, call 877-42-LIBERTY. Our relentless trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Once again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
You love to bash his sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're a big tough? If you're a big tough guy this morning,
but you really love to voice your displeasure for his music choices.
He stumbled on an issue that I did not think would generate this much passion and discussion.
It's time for Jake's questionable song of the day on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Once again, your song of the day from 1994, Come Out and Play by The Offspring, 464-568-5. 1 is bad, 10 is good. Text your rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers song of the day.
You smashed one today. I mean, you hit it off. I got over the fence. You hit a home run. Good job. It's not the best Offspring song, but it's one of their better, obviously. And Offspring, wow, what an underrated band. Oof. Can I say underrated on them?
You do love those guys, yeah.
Always, yeah.
They are over. Yes, they are underrated.
Don't hear them come up.
People don't talk about The Offspring, and they're very good.
Yeah. And that's a great song. It's not a good song. It's a great song. And they have a very distinct style and sound. And they do have a line of hits. If I'm going to rank, I mean, I like The Kids Aren't All Right.
Yep.
You know that. Yeah. The Kids Aren't All Right. It was 1998. They're a rare example of a really good 90s band. Why Don't You Get a Job?
Yes, the playoff of Obla-Dee, Obla-Da, yeah. The same sound as the Beatles.
Playoff of Obla-Dee, Obla-Da.
And it's wonderful.
It's funny.
It is hilarious.
Come Out and Play. Mm-hmm. You hit that. Original Pranksters.
Gone Away, right? Is that one?
Gone Away
is a good one.
Yeah, and Gotta Get Away is good. So yeah, I give that a 9.3333367. 9.3333367.
I knew you loved The Offspring, and so I played that today.
Thank you.
We got to get Josh's.
Josh,
there's bass in that song.
Is there?
I think there's bass in that song. Sound like bass. Yeah. Josh was jamming.
He liked it.
Josh has to be in the 8s, so 8.2.
Yeah, I'm going slightly over. I'm going to go 8.8.
8.6. All right, we nailed that.
Yeah,
we nailed that. We nailed that.
Good job. Yeah, you could tell Josh liked it.
He was jamming.
And if you know Josh, his personality, I'm not surprised he liked it. That's a Josh song.
Before I get to the mailbag, some ratings here on the text line, 464-5685, the Sauter Heyman Jewelers text line, by the way. Notorious B.I.V. 7.5. We've got John in Southeast Lincoln. A great song, 8.8. 8.7 from Giltner. Dino, 6.1. Mike and Dalton, a 2. It's pretty low. 8.84 takes me back to my college years. That's unnamed texter. Bird in Columbus.
You did?
8.5.
Bill, are you listening? How did he do?
Yeah, I mean, that was okay. Jennifer, 4. Hubby, 5.
Oh, low scores from the household.
Not big fans of that one.
No, and you know what? I think they're a little more soulful.
Yeah, they like the older stuff.
And they're adults.
They are.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be an adult.
That's overrated.
A breaker just waved, by the way.
Really?
A breaker just waved.
I should have waved back. I was busy. I'm sorry, Breaker. If that was you, I apologize.
Yeah.
Text your name.
She was looking in here. And I think she was waiting for a response. And when she drove off, she waved.
Oh, well, whoever that was, please text and we'll acknowledge you on the text line. Yes. My bad. John in Des Moines says, we haven't seen John for a while, by the way. Hello, John.
John. Okay, now wait a second.
John's last text was February 19th via the text line. It says
February 19th?
It's over a month ago. John, where have you been?
John in Des Moines is with us.
John, you're always welcome to chime in. We like your calls and texts.
John is an original gangster with us.
Absolutely.
What'd he give it?
8.5. Great.
He liked it.
Great tune, great band. 8.5.
John's got John. You know, John always has had good taste.
Big fan of John.
Yeah.
8.5 from the Bandit. A 1 from Pops in Minnesota. Just a 1. Sanderson 7.8. Wink in Kansas. Is this Wink Martindale? 7.6. 7.5. Mr. Sparky. Sean in Omaha. 2.5. Most annoying voice ever.
Wow,
there's a breaker.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
More waving. Is that the same person?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You go around the block at all?
No.
Well, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to the breaker. Yeah,
good morning to the breaker.
Right.
Wow.
All right. Yeah, please wave when you come by.
Yeah.
I want to see you guys.
On O Street. We're on 11th and O.
That's right. 1040 O Street, 11th and O. Correct.
Yeah. Keep reading.
10 from Culligan J. We got a 9 who says Self-Esteem is their favorite song by The Offspring.
It's a great one.
8.7 from Twizzlers. And all right. Someone says, I wave every morning. That texter. That was Dylan. Dylan.
Okay.
Dylan. So, all right. That's Song of the Day, sponsored by Sauter Heyman Jewelers. Again, your Song of the Day was Come Out and Play by The Offspring.
Will Rick be with us tomorrow?
Yes, he will.
Okay, so we'll look forward to a 70s song.
Yes, and before we get to the mailbag, a quick legal ID. Here we go.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Without further ado, it is time for the mailbag. Here we go. As you know, SIP, the mailbag is sponsored by our friends at Double Eagle Golf, West O Street, Kinetic Sports Complex. Wonderful spot. And I want to remind you something about that because they have buy one, get one golf on Tuesdays. Okay, that was yesterday. So next week, on Tuesday, buy one, get one hour at Double Eagle Golf. Also, remember, we're going to be out there for the Masters Thursday, Friday. That's 11th and 12th of April with food from Augusta. Tee times open at 6 a.m. Why don't you come out and start the Masters off with us at Double Eagle Golf? Oh, hang on. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Are we going to be out there 2 days?
Yeah, Thursday and Friday.
We're going out there 2 days.
Like last year, Thursday and Friday.
Oh, that's crazy time.
It is fun. Yeah, that was fun. It was packed last year in there.
It was. Now, today would be a great day to go into Double Eagle.
A little chilly out
today.
today.
Chilly.
When it's cold outside, you can still golf. It's always 72 and sunny at Double Eagle Golf. Book your tee time at doubleeagle.golf.
I've called it the ultimate man cave because of the bays, because it's like it's like kind of like a bar, but you can play golf in it. If you want to step out of the stress of your world, if you want to step into a little haven with your golf clubs, with your friends,
haven and heaven,
with your friends, step into Double Eagle Golf. Get you out of your world for a little bit, hit some balls. I bet you'll feel a lot better walking out of there. I would say it is therapeutic.
I couldn't have said it better myself. That doubleeagle.golf for your tee time. To the mailbag, here is the first question from Kelly. Kelly says this: Good morning. The scene before the game in Memphis last week looked amazing. Reminded me of all the Husker fans who traveled over to Ireland for the football game a couple years ago.
Yep.
You have to feel bad for some Husker fans who invest a lot of time and money into these events to be disappointed. Sip and Jake, you were at both of these. Which one would you describe as a more angry and depressed scene after the game? Memphis versus Ireland.
I mean, that is an incredibly good question.
Thank you, Kelly. Well done.
If only because it points up the ungodly passion of these fans, because it was a big throng in Ireland. And we went there, and then we went to Memphis. I'd say the profound sadness hit me harder from the fans in Memphis.
I would agree with that.
Would you?
Yeah. Here's the thing. Ireland's still a trip. You're seeing a foreign country. There's things to do in Ireland. Now, it was depressing after the game. Absolutely, it was. But a lot of people still were there the next week.
That was the opener, though. It was the season opener, and you could still have hope. There was hopefulness.
Yeah, that was the first game of the year.
It was the first game of the year. There was still some hope. You had reasons for hope. The long season ahead. This was a thud.
Tominaga's last game, he's done.
This was
Alex's last game.
Yeah, Memphis was a thud. I was struck by, I don't like to talk about it because it's kind of hard for Nebraska fans to hear this stuff, but the euphoria that was so evident on Beale Street and then in the arena before the game, juxtaposed against and then you saw the Nebraska fans who were kind of held over. There were some people that stayed around, really just kept to themselves. They're quiet.
Yeah.
And then I told you, I shared that vignette about the kid. He was probably close to 30 years old.
25-year-old man.
Yeah. Just rushed up to me in the breakfast line at the Spring Hill Suites the next morning.
You were ambushed.
Just couldn't contain himself. He said, "Sip, what happened? Is it going to be okay? Is it the stage was set? The stage was set. What happened?" Kind of a stream of consciousness, and you could see the pain. The pain was evident.
Yeah, the answer is Memphis is more devastating, tougher because, number one, Ireland is a cool country to visit. There's things to do.
It was the opener.
And as Heavy points out, not to mention you got free beer at the game also.
Not to mention.
I had several free beers up there.
God, Ireland, wasn't it? We were very blessed. We were blessed.
So fun.
We were blessed.
I saw Sip at halftime of that game.
was an extraordinary trip. The loss was hard. I mean, now from a journalist perspective, it was interesting. The game was interesting. I mean,
it was a good game.
Yeah.
Wild decisions in that game, wild plays, but that's what happened. Mailbag, back to Michael, says this. Last week we spent some time at the Volcanoes National Park in Hawaii for my daughter's spring break. Currently, there are 6 active volcanoes and 2 dormant volcanoes. They have not erupted in a long time, but are expected to erupt again in the future. For this upcoming football season, tying this all together, what 2 players would you consider as the Huskers' dormant volcanoes?
Ooh, dormant volcanoes.
Those who have not erupted but could any time. Been quiet so far, but could erupt this season.
I'm going to say Fedoni on offense.
Oh, that's a great one. It's a great one.
Thomas Fedoni. I mean, you saw him in the dunk contest at which game was that? The Minnesota game, maybe?
Yes. Halftime. Yep,
yeah, halftime, and he comes out with no braces on his knees. Does a couple thunderous dunks, and I think that was Thomas Fedoni. Basically, his way of saying, "I'm ready. I'm fine. I've put all of that behind me. Look at me in front of 15,000 people, taking off from near the foul line and hammering one." Fedoni had 25 catches last year, which was good, but I mean, you know what? When I think of guys who could be all Big Ten type players, Fedoni comes to mind.
Is there another guy? I mean, that to me is the obvious one. Was there somebody else in there that could stick out?
Oh, guys that could go off like a volcano. How about Cam Linhart?
Someone's been quiet. Yeah. Well, he
was quiet a little last year because of injury.
Yes.
But seems like the type of guy that explode. And another guy in that same realm is Princewell.
Uman Mielen.
Yeah, those guys are really talented guys. And what you hope is that you start to see all Big Ten players in the making. Like, those guys are really talented. I mean, Uman
Mielen.
He was striking me. He didn't put up great numbers last year, but he was striking to me because you can see his explosiveness off the ball. It's evident. You know, he moves a little different than most guys. So, and same with Linhart. A guy that go back to offensive. Gabe Ervin could be that guy where you say, wait a second, he just got 1,000 yards.
But I think that Dowdell's a starter, right?
Maybe.
That's why I'm leaning Dowdell.
Well, you can't hand it to him.
I know that. I'm expecting him to start the season.
I don't know. We'll see on that. It's good we're talking about. I hope we're having a spirited discussion in August about which guy's going to start.
And because they're both good.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're both impressing in fall ball.
Yeah.
I think then the obvious answer is Thomas Fedoni, somebody that you've been waiting to explode. He's been dormant. He did play last year. Had some
25 catches, 4 touchdowns. Yep.
So there was signs of life, but can you put it all together? And can you get 6 touchdowns? Can you have more catches, more yards?
Yeah. You have 10 touchdowns. It's conceivable.
Like, I'm not going to say Jamal Banks that he's not been here. He could be a volcano, but he's not dormant though. He's already
exploded.
Somebody who has been here that has not exploded yet.
How about Malachi Coleman? That'd be a really welcome development.
Yeah.
Be a really welcome development. All right, keep going.
That's all I got for you.
All right. That was good. Those are good questions.
Thank you to Kelly and Michael. Those are great questions in the mailbag today. Sponsored by our friends at Double Eagle Golf, the ultimate man cave per yourself. Great place to go. DoubleEagle.golf. You said that. DoubleEagle.golf.
I did.
Book it today in the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. And we'll be out there for the Masters. Get your tee times now. We'll be open at 6 a.m. for that. And there'll be food from Augusta National also at that event, April 11th and 12th. Top of the hour next. Let's get to Troy Dannon's thought on the stadium project. He discussed it. We'll play some audio and discuss it ourselves next on Early Break in the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Spring is on its way. Are you prepared to keep the grass greener on your side? Blades Lawn and Landscape has a position opened at a homeowner association to their client list with residential and commercial openings also. Transform your yard into a private oasis with the professional services offered by Blades Lawn and Landscape, including landscape walls and beds and a 5-step fertilizer program applied by a licensed professional. Call them today at 402-730-6320 or go to bladeslcc.com to schedule a free estimate on commercial or residential lawn services.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through March 31st, gear up for Easter with USDA Choice Whole Boneless Ribeye Loins for $12.99 per pound. Fairway's Hickory Smoked Boneless Pit Hams for $4.99 per pound. USDA Choice Whole Beef Brisket for $3.99 per pound. And all natural pork bellies for $2.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather.
Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, there's a chance we could see a few flurries. Otherwise, we'll see partly sunny skies and a high around 46. Tonight, mainly clear skies with a low around 28. And tomorrow, we'll see more sunshine, go along with warmer temperatures. The afternoon high expected around 64. I'm meteorologist Kyle Butler for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
For Sean Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of your liberty in pursuit of your justice for those that have been injured. My name is Matt Knight, attorney with Liberty Law Group. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, call 877-42-LIBERTY. Our relentless trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Once again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Old School with DP and J.
Do you think it's too early to talk about Patrick Mahomes as the greatest of all time? You know, to be honest with you, I think he might be ahead of the pace. It was definitely on pace, maybe ahead of the pace. I think right now everything that he does is going to get overblown, and I think people so quickly forgot the 20-year run of the Patriots. Not 5-6 years, 20-year run of Tom Brady and the Patriots.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
On the Block with Strick and Austin. Now, to tie it back to Nebraska men's basketball, this group has a chance to do something that hasn't been done before.
Yeah.
You know, in making a run in the Big Ten tournament, a serious run, in winning the first NCAA tournament game, but they're not going to get there by doing the same things they've always done. It is on this team to step up and change that narrative. It won't change on its own. Teams won't play over for you, and that's the mindset shift we haven't consistently seen yet.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Wake up, Lincoln.
I overslept. Damn rooster didn't crow.
It's time for Early Break, sponsored by Midwest Bank. Live from Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
I'm wrong, but I'm not.
Husker Online, Steve Sipple.
If I were a feral cat.
And longtime college football assistant coach, Bill Busch.
You get one team. Mine's the Houston Oilers. I'm
So-
not the Texans, and I'm not the Titans. So I'm Bill- out.
This is Early Break.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Wednesday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Early Break. Bill Busch out today. He's speaking in card. You can always book him at CoachBillBusch.com. CoachBillBusch.com. Hour 2, sponsored by our friends at Midwest Bank. Member FDIC, location in Lincoln at 27th and Jamie Lane. New location open up end of February at 70th and Pioneers. Wonderful stone building. You haven't seen it yet, have you?
No.
You haven't driven down there to South Lincoln,
No, I
have
haven't
you?
been south in a long time.
You can change that today.
Just drive down there randomly.
It's a 10-minute drive from right here.
I got a lot
Maybe
going
12.
down.
I'll
Good
drive
morning,
you,
Jake.
I'll drive you there myself.
Okay. How would you?
I'll drive you there myself and drive you back to where you need to be, just to see the stone building.
To see the stone, and then inside it's warm.
Yes.
You were there. There's a party. You guys had a party.
Yep.
Shindy was there.
Shindaddy was there.
Yeah.
He was there. Yeah, Shindaddy was in the building.
Yeah.
I'm told today Shindaddy is dialing up for tomorrow's Sweet 16 party at the bank. So nothing really crazy going on today. It's a build-up for tomorrow.
Okay.
They got a Sweet 16 watch party Thursday and Friday, Elite 8 Saturday, Sunday, of course.
Okay.
So just know tomorrow if you're heading up north to Creighton and Norfolk, stop by Creighton because you can watch the Sweet 16.
Bill will be
Thursday.
Bill will be back
tomorrow.
Tomorrow he's speaking, and I would suggest if you're looking for a speaker, I mean, I think it'd be hard for me to think you could do better than Bill right now.
Yeah. And
Bill is a fabulous public speaker. He has a great message, I've heard. I'm not going to give it away, but if you listen to him every day, you can imagine it's probably incredible. And I used to be fascinated. One of the things that fascinated me about Bill was he really, you can imagine this, Jake. I don't think we've ever had this discussion. Maybe we have. He put a lot, he had daily special teams meetings. And those meetings, his presentation was really important to him.
Yep.
Like it was, he wanted to make it good every day. And that's not easy to do.
He prepared for public speaking his whole life because of that.
Because of that. Yeah. And those special teams meeting presentations, it mattered to him. It wasn't just, we have a meeting today. Oh, what am I going to say? I'll put something together quick. No, he put a lot of thought into it. So I bet the speeches are amazing.
You can book Bill. Get CoachBillBusch.com. By the way, thanks again to Midwest Bank and Steve Schindler and Company for sponsoring Hour 2 on our show. 464.
Shindy.
Yeah, Shindaddy. There he is. Look at him with his finger up. Number one.
Yeah, number one, not the other.
Not the middle. The appropriate finger.
Look at him with his finger up.
Could be a thumbs up. It's number one. Number one up there, not the middle.
Look at him with his finger up.
Flipping us off. Typical Shindaddy. What a sense of humor that guy has.
Shindy's a more adult than we are.
Yeah, we're juvenile.
Yeah.
We're juvenile. 464-5685. Call or text as always. Again, the story of the day has been Troy Dannon, who of course took the podium yesterday and had the opening kind of we call it a to-do at the stadium.
You call it a to-do.
You called it a to-do 7 times yesterday. Now it's in my head as a to-do. He had a Q&A at the Hawks Center afterwards, which you had the first question. Kudos to you for asking about 1890 and the collective in general. But we have not mentioned at all on this show about the stadium project and Troy Dannon's thoughts on that. He was asked, as he should have been asked, about his awareness and approach to that.
We learned that Dannon needs to get up to speed on the Trev Alberts plan for a $450 million renovation of Memorial Stadium. Do you have his answer? This is what he said. I really don't know anything about it, quite honestly, which I regarded as a fit of glorious honesty.
Yes.
I mean, that was beautiful. I really don't know anything about it, quite honestly. I thought that was revealing in that means that Chris Kaborik, the interim president who made the hire and talked to him and interviewed him, didn't mention it.
Is that something you think he should have mentioned
Well,
at all? Hey, Troy, we got a big project here.
Let's stop
Millions
there.
of dollars.
Let's stop. Yeah, like we'll
multi-millions.
450.
How about that?
Okay, so I would ask you, should Kaborik have mentioned that during the interview process? Did he need to?
It was a quick process, right? We had to replace the AD, and it got done in a week's time.
Could Kaborik say that's something he could Google very easy? In we'll say scouting the job after the initial conversation, wouldn't you, if you were the person being interviewed, say to yourself, I need to look at a couple things here. They got going.
To me, that's not the most important thing to take this job. Nebraska needs an AD, and Troy has a lot of experience in that department. And
just asking.
There's a lot of things that come with that, obviously, that aren't just about being an AD with your programs, about a stadium. That's another thing to deal with. And NIL, you'll deal with that.
As Troy Dannon said, the number one priority is the student athlete. Okay, now let's get into this.
Here's some more audio. Here's Troy Dannon on stadium renovation.
Yeah, I really don't know anything about it, quite honestly. I read, when it comes across the ticker in the morning, right? You read about it, but I don't know the fundamentals. It will be something that I have to get myself up to speed on very, very quickly. I think I have some meetings as early as Thursday, starting to try to learn a little bit about it. I will say this, and it's true with anything. If it helps us win, great. If it doesn't help us win, I want to win. And so the assessment of anything that we do, stadium, any facility, any infrastructure, any person we hire, any dollar we invest, does it help us win? Does it help us win academically? Does it help us win socially? Or does it help us win on the field? Those are the criteria by which every dollar we spend should be measured.
Okay.
Does a renovated stadium help Nebraska win games? That is a stretch.
Yeah.
That's a stretch to think that a renovated stadium somehow helps you win games.
How could you say yes, that it does?
It's a stretch.
It doesn't.
You might be able to work that conversation to a place where you could say it helps, but I don't know. It would take some doing. Does a renovated stadium help Nebraska win? I don't think so. I thought he sort of answered, okay, you wonder. Does the new AD push forward with the original renovation plan as laid out by Trev Alberts in the fall? Walking away from that to-do yesterday, my thought was, I don't think so. Not as originally planned, not as a $600 million project. I don't see it after what he said. I thought he kind of said it without saying it. He said, as you just played, I will say this, he said, and it's true with anything, if it helps us win, great. Does a stadium, does that sort of project help them win? No, I think we both agree that it doesn't necessarily do that. Okay, so you have this interesting conversation, and it's been going on for weeks. It's been really going on since Trev announced that project. You're competing. There's sort of these competing entities. There's, on one hand, you have this massive, massive renovation project. On the other hand, you're trying to fund NIL. You're asking donors for money for NIL, Jake. You are. That's what you're doing. You're doing it virtually daily.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now you're also asking for a renovation project. There's these competing entities. Now, if I were well-heeled and I were in that realm, my inclination would be, I want to give it to the part of the equation that helps fill rosters with talent, because that's what matters to me more.
Agreed.
Now, it's not now. It's more complicated, though, when you start thinking on different levels. We established earlier in the show how important this fan base is. Their comfort in Memorial Stadium absolutely matters. It has to matter. The fans, if the student athletes are the number one priority, the fans can't be too far behind.
Understood.
Because these fans are amazing. I'm not the pander. You saw what you saw in Memphis.
I did.
It was
an incredible scene.
Incredible outpouring.
Yep.
You saw what
Tons
you saw
of
in
support by
Ireland.
Nebraska.
Yeah, I've seen it over the years. I've seen hundreds of examples of it, and you can never take that for granted. So I don't want to say the fans' discomfort in South Stadium and other parts of the stadium, primarily the South Stadium, because nothing's been done to it for 100 years. 100. Nothing's been done to it for 100 years. Something needs to be done. I think you scale it back.
But what does that look like? So scaling it back, okay, that's easier said than done. How do you scale back?
I am not an architect. Okay,
we need an architect to chime in. Architects, chime in. How can you scale back the project, but still do something?
Go from $600 million to maybe $250. Okay, so they have to raise, as part of this, $225 million in private funding. $225 million you have to raise. They've commissioned this firm in Omaha to do it. Paying that firm $5.6 million. Okay, to raise the money. What I've heard, and I've written it, so I don't mind saying it on the air, I don't think it's going particularly well. They got a long way to go, probably at least 100 million more, 125 million more. That's hard to close.
That's significant, by the way.
That's hard to close.
That is significant.
That's hard. That Go Big project for the training facility went to the wire. You're trying to raise this money on the heels of the Go Big project and with NIL.
That's a lot of money in play. A ton of money in play.
Luckily, it's a fervent fan base.
It is fervent, but like you said, does the stadium help you win games? No. Right now, as Troy made very clear yesterday, as he should have, it's all about getting athlete retention and athletes here, helping the student athletes. That's what helps you win games. And I think the money comes more if that's proving worthwhile, that you're winning games and that's working out, then more money flows in.
Then maybe you revisit.
I think you have to start with the wins on the field and the courts and every playing surface mattering, happening. And then that happens.
If Matt Rule's program produces 10 wins in 2024, the topic of fan comfort diminishes greatly. Doesn't go away. But it takes a little more of a back seat. I don't know. This is a Thursday will be eye-opening for Dannon and whoever's involved in that meeting. Because if I was in that meeting, I'd watch Dannon very closely and just see what his facial expressions are when it's laid out, when the magnitude of the project is laid out. I'd watch him. What's he think?
Yep.
You know, does he feel it's very possible? I don't want to say very possible, but it's possible he would come out of that meeting saying, we're going forward. We're doing this.
Here's a good we got a couple good texts coming in. 402-464-5685. Again, fans are very important in this regarding South Stadium. They're the ones that go to the games and sit there.
You cannot take them for granted at any turn.
Here's a text from Aaron. Aaron says, good morning, Jake and Sip. I am a season ticket holder in South Stadium for the past 2 years. I don't see why we need to blow up South Stadium and start over. Would new seats and bathrooms be nice? Yes, but I would much rather keep our good players and win than sit in a recliner or a nice seat. So he says, listen, win is first. Winning is first. Our comfort, yes, we want the comfort eventually, but if comfort comes after winning, then that's a win for us.
We may be overthinking the whole thing. Personal text line from a listener. How about just restrooms and a concession stand at an upper level? Okay. South Stadium, the problem is if you sit in row 88 of the 98, you got to walk a long ways down to get to a concession stand or a restroom. How about just adding restrooms and a concession stand? You got to spend $600 million. You may not.
I don't think that would require that much money.
No!
I mean, it would require a lot of money.
I don't need marble floors. I don't need marble floors. I don't need my restroom to feel like I'm in a casino. Which at Oklahoma State Stadium, I was freaked out. When you go into the bathroom at T. Boone Pickens Stadium, it feels like you're in a high-level casino. I don't need that. Gold toilet paper holders. I don't need that. They're gold. I mean, I'm not pure gold.
But you noticed it, though. You saw it.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I noticed how ridiculous it was.
Come on, T-Poon. Really?
I mean, they got money flowing down there, but we don't need that. What else is the text line saying?
Corey in Lincoln says, don't scale it back. If you have to table it for 5 years, then fine. But South Stadium needs to be demolished and the concourse needs to be connected. Don't slap things together with more duct tape.
Okay.
But he says, if it needs to wait, then wait.
The concourse connectivity is a big part of this discussion. That they really want to connect the respective parts of the stadium with a concourse.
Yes.
Connect.
I agree with that, Corey. I'm completely agree with that.
Right. So Corey's suggestion is one I haven't heard. Table it, maybe revisit it.
And again, if Nebraska's at a point where they're winning, they're at the top of the big, or competitive in the Big Ten towards the top, then who pushes back? Yes, the money flows in. Players stick around. NIL is flourishing. Money rolls in for the stadium because now it's worthwhile. We're investing in a winning product.
I was going to say something stupid, and I caught myself. I was going to say, can you imagine what would happen with this fan base if Nebraska football put a 10, 11 wins up? You can't imagine it because A, it's happened, and B, you saw it in Memphis. You can imagine. It's very imaginable. You can easily imagine what would happen in Memphis if Nebraska were a 1 seed. Think about Memphis with Nebraska as a 1 seed and not a 9. 8, sorry. Think about Nebraska as a 1 and not an 8. They were an 8 seed. Imagine if that was Houston. Nebraska was Houston with a chance to win it all.
Yep.
What would Memphis look like?
It was already red as heck for the fan base. You wouldn't find a hotel down there. They'd be all booked. It'd be glorious.
That's basketball.
It'd be glorious for basketball.
That's not a basketball school.
No.
It's a football school, Jay.
From the text line, a couple more before we get to break here. Rubber Duck says the fact that we were going down in capacity pisses me off when SEC stadiums are 100,000 plus. Some of those.
Oh, easy now. See now, hold on. I'm all about reducing capacity in this day and age. It's hard to get fans out now. Win 10, win 11 won't be hard. Now now there is listen, I can lack foresight with the best of them. If I'm an AD and I reduce capacity and they win 12 games, now we got a problem because you got a lot of people want to get in the stadium that can't get in. That's a problem. It's a major
Raise
problem.
the ticket price, you can overcome that.
Raise the ticket price. That would be popular.
Hey.
So we can't get people in. We're going to raise the ticket price.
Supply and demand, baby. You change your own supply and demand in your own.
All right. Keep the stadium capacity as it is. I can do that.
I would agree. Table the project. Don't cancel it. Table it.
Table feels like cancel.
It's not canceling. You bring it up next year, maybe.
Corey said 5.
Well, 5 years. That's a long time.
That feels like cancel.
But the thing is, the stadium won't be getting better in the next 5 years, so it's going to be a problem. Things could happen that say we need this updated immediately.
It's not a crumbling stadium,
but it's not right now.
It's not. We're talking mainly the South, but not only the South. The North has issues too. It's hard. It's hard for, especially older gentlemen, older women like that. Like I think of my dad who has to walk up and down those steps at age 80. Bad knees. You're a spry young guy. You can do it.
Oh, but
even me, 50.
But I see people that are older. They're struggling.
Oh, it's
struggling.
Hard. Getting up and down those steps.
Yep,
it's not easy.
Before we get to break, are you looking for a job that feels like family? Join them at Lincoln Industries, where tradition meets innovation. They're a family-owned, privately held manufacturing company with a passion for excellence and a commitment to the community. They have openings on all shifts at both the main plant and Air Park facilities, offering flexibility to fit your schedule. At Lincoln Industries, they invest in people's success, providing opportunities for growth and advancement. Apply now and become part of something special at LincolnIndustries.com. When we come back, Bill's not here, but Bill's Thrills rolls on. Next, Wild Card Wednesday and early break in the ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
It's getting nicer outside, but it's still hit or miss in the spring on golf weather. Not at Double Eagle Golf. Your home for always 72-degree weather and no wind. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues are underway, but stay tuned for info on indoor golf tournaments and book your bay for the Masters in April. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
People always ask, what are Jake and Sip like when they're off the air? Well, the answer probably won't surprise you.
Hey, Jake, your Honda's looking a little dirty.
Says the guy whose license plate is barely visible.
I mean, do you even care about that thing anymore?
It gets a little uncomfortable. Now, that's when I jump in.
Hey, whoa. Mark, did you get a new car?
Nope, just took my car down to Nebraska Auto Detail. Joe and the staff made the outside and the inside look amazing. Maybe you guys need to go. Okay, wise guy.
Settle down, Jake.
Book your appointment today at nebraskaautodetail.com.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in March. Try their pesto cream cheese on any breakfast sandwich. For lunch, try the salmon panini with provolone, sesame oil, and tomatoes on a ciabatta roll with bagel chips. Perfect for Lent. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Hi, folks. Sean Callahan here for Couple Chevrolet GMC, and the Chevrolet and GMC Truck Month is now underway. We've got huge savings in Louisville. Get $9,000 off or 1.9% for 72 months on select models. Yes, you heard right. That's $9,000 off or 1.9% for 72 months happening right now at Koppel. So take that short money saving drive down 144th Street or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with roof credit. Stock number G214773.
For Sean Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of your liberty in pursuit of your justice for those that have been injured. My name is Matt Knight, attorney with Liberty Law Group. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, call 877-42-LIBERTY. Our relentless trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Once again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Electrical Enterprises in Roca reminds you,
The men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. Let us honor those who've lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those serving today. This from Electrical Enterprises in Roca. For all your residential and commercial electrical construction needs, call 402-438-5822. We live in the land of the free thanks to the brave.
This
Good morning, little brother.
is Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We'll get to Bill's Thrills in 1 second. Be Jake's Takes and Sip's Tips today, actually, for that. Before that, shout out for our friends in Holdridge. First Rate Ag, they're a full-service ag retailer offering everything from crop protection to lawn fertilizer. 25 years in business. Reach out to firstrateag.com or call 308-995-8327. Ask for Parker or Chris. And as always, mention the ticket, First Rate Ag.
This is, would you call this the second day of the Troy Dannon era? Or the first day?
I'd say the second day.
Second day. It started yesterday. One of the things that impressed the brass at Nebraska was, think about this. We didn't talk about this. We'll get to Bill's Thrills in a second.
We will.
The answer that Dannon gave Chris Kaborik when Kaborik said, when do you want to start working? How about Dannon saying right now, I'm going to Memphis. I'm going to Corvallis. I mean, he said right now, I'll start right now.
I believe Troy, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, he went to Memphis Thursday, Friday.
Mm-hmm.
He was at the softball game here in Lincoln on Saturday in the cold, and then he went to Corvallis for Sunday's game.
Good signs. Really good signs. He didn't say, can I have a week?
Let's do it now.
Let's do it now.
It's time.
It's a good sign.
A lot of stuff
That's a
going
good
on.
sign.
Let's make it happen.
So that's a really good sign of want to, right?
Yes.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about it till right now that Kaborik said, when do you want to get going? And he said, how about right now? And then there he was. We at the shoot around. I was there.
You were there. You talked to him.
At the shoot around.
I saw
in
pictures
Memphis.
of it.
Yeah. And he was with Kaborik. I didn't know who Kaborik was at the time, but he was with Kaborik. And talking to Fred on the court. He had started addressing the media. He had started. It's amazing. I mean, he said next day. Jake, that's a really good sign. It's a really good sign.
Hit the ground running, baby.
Yep.
No reason to wait. Let's get this started.
Yep.
Well, it's time for Bill's Thrills. Now, Bill's not here.
Okay.
So it's Jake's Takes and Sip's Tips, sponsored by Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid Plains Advisors. Let's get to our open right now.
Some call him the most interesting man in the world.
That is setting up the morel mushroom bonanza.
Oh, yeah.
This bonanza. Mushrooms grow better with thunder and lightning.
Others call him Coach. But to everyone else, he's Bill.
I want to get one of those military ab stimulators for us to wear during the show. You see, I sent it to you today.
It's time for Bill's Thrills on Early Break. Sponsored by Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid-Plains Advisors.
Bill's Thrills, Jake's Takes, Sip Tips, all of them sponsored by Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid-Plains Advisors. The ATMs, the cash cows of Lincoln. Call them at 402-730-7387 or stop just north of 27th in Old Cheney and see them. They'll make you lots of money. They'll take care of you. They'll help you plan your financial future and feel confident that they're the ones. So on Wednesdays, Bill has started doing them's fighting words, right? Them's fighting words Wednesdays. Now, I will start. If you have one also, I want you to chime in.
I want to hear you. I want to hear
So,
yours.
Bill's Thrills, Jake's Takes. Them's fighting words. Now, I have brought up this one in past years on the show. I've got two of them. This one has been brought before. The other one has not been brought up before.
Okay, I'm interested.
It's two separate words. When anybody refers to somebody my age, 32, as Bud, you know my thoughts on Bud. We brought up sport and all this stuff like years ago. We'll bring it back again.
Pal.
Bud.
Pal.
If you call me bud as if someone that's number one for sure, if you're younger than me and you ever call me bud, if I don't respond well, you know why. You can't call somebody older than you, even in an endearing form, bud. Can't do it. Can't do it. It is degrading. It's a degrading term. Some might call endearing. They call all their friends bud. I don't go that way.
No, it's
bud,
hard.
Bud makes me cringe every time I hear it.
Hard to push back.
The other one. Now, this happened last week. It was not a very pleasant experience at the doctor for my wife and me. It was not a fill-in doctor.
Okay.
Number one, wasn't a great experience. We moved on.
Okay.
We moved on.
This is number 2, by the way?
This is my second one. Then
Okay.
you get after this. The second one is when somebody refers to a woman as hun.
Ooh.
Number one, had a very poor experience with this backup doctor at the hospital. And then on top of that, she keeps calling my wife hun.
She.
She.
Okay.
The lady
It's
calls
a little different.
Still.
Yeah.
I don't care. Man, woman calling somebody hun. And she was older than her, so yeah, but so
It's not very professional.
It's not professional to call somebody hun.
No.
And especially when I'm having I'm not having a good time with you. I'm not very happy with you in this situation. And he keeps saying hun. It's okay, hun. I don't like that.
You're not
hun
putting
is
up,
not a place to be.
You're not putting up your dukes, but when you say them's fighting words, it made you bristle.
I did not like it. I already was having a bad time. And then you add every other word, hun. It's okay, hun. Do this, hun. Not a fan of that. Keep the huns out of it.
Yeah.
Hun and bud, bad. Bud for a guy, bad. Hun for a girl, not cool.
We've had this conversation before about bud and pal and champ, and it is very, very germane all the time. I mean, if you're pumping gas and you walk, and this has happened to me, if you're pumping gas and you walk in to pay and a fella holds the door for you and you say thank you and he says no problem, champ, it ruins his act of kindness.
Dang right.
Yeah.
Yes. You are right.
The act of kindness is ruined. I got it. No problem, champ. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
It seems like disrespect, right?
Yeah.
And it's not even sometimes intended that way.
Well, I want to clear something up too on the hun situation. I know, like in the South, hun is like if you're going to a restaurant, the waitress might say, "Hey, what do you want today, hun?" Okay,
right.
Different in this setting. A doctor is saying hun in a time I'm not having a very good time. I'm not eating a nice breakfast somewhere.
No,
hun should be
doctor's
reserved.
office.
Doctor's office. Come on.
Right.
Come on now, hun. Okay, it's fine in a restaurant. Yeah, I know it's Southern. But you got to know the times when and when not to use something like hun or bud or champ or sport,
I'm trying to weigh in my mind whether you're overreacting to the doctor using hun.
Keep in mind it was a bad experience with this particular doctor. Okay. It was not a good time. And then the huns are adding to the equation here. Never heard anybody else call my wife hun before. Man or woman. Except maybe at a restaurant in Florida or Georgia.
Right.
Okay? Understood. We're in Nebraska here. I'm at the doctor's office. Hun.
No, I get it.
Several times.
And you bristled? Did you bristle?
Yep.
You were right there bristling?
You were bristling. Not happy. I was in a bad mood. You got one.
I don't got it. I mean,
you told me you had one.
Oh, I do. It's not great, but it did bother me yesterday when I heard some media brethren and sisterin say Memphis is a dump. I took issue with that. Right. I took issue with that. I did. I bristled. I didn't say much.
Back?
No, I didn't say much. I did say something to one of them, like, why would you say that? It's not true. It's just not true. It's not a dump. And why? Why do I like Memphis? You have to ask that question. You have to answer it. Because the music's great and the food's great. And I like the people. I feel comfortable in Memphis. I have every time I've gone there. I feel like I fit in. I love the music and I love the food. And I love going to the Memphis Grizzlies games and I love the hotel experience. I love the downtown. I love how easy it is to get around. It's easy to get around. I love the Mississippi River running right there.
That is cool. I like that. I did like the river right
I
there.
love the thought of living down there, and I'd probably live over the bridge. I'd probably live in West Memphis and come into the city when I wanted to.
Would that be Arkansas then? West
I'd be in
Memphis?
Arkansas.
You'd be in
yeah,
Arkansas.
West Memphis, Arkansas. But it's close. I love being that close to Mississippi. I love the fact that it's a strong Mississippi Delta blues town because that's where it came from.
And you heard some blues down there.
Oh yeah, that place I eat, all it does is play. It's probably 90% Mississippi Delta blues. It's very raw. It's very unique. So you're in there eating a fabulous catfish dinner with beans and rice and vegetables, and I got a margarita, and the Mississippi Delta blues is blaring over the loudspeakers. You feel like you're in heaven. Maybe that's heaven. Maybe I was in heaven.
Were you in heaven?
It's possible.
I didn't feel like I was in heaven. You said I almost paused you for a second, but you kept going.
What?
You said the hotel situation. Is that different from other places you've been to?
I just would say that
it's a hotel, for crying out loud. Nothing different from the hotel.
You
said you were impressed, but the breakfast staff. Okay, cool.
Yeah, just a good hotel stay and in a nice walk. It's easy. You would agree it's easy to get around.
Yes, and getting to Beale Street's right there. It's
Right.
a half mile at the most to Beale Street or the Forum from those downtown hotels.
Yeah, and it's just generally easy to get around Memphis. So I like it. I like the city. The fighting words to me is Memphis is a dump. No, fighting words. Nope. It's not a dump. It's not a dump. Beale Street's very clean. Clean.
Which city?
And what would you say about the FedEx Forum?
I liked it.
What a beautiful arena.
I liked it.
What a beautiful arena.
It didn't blow me away, but it wasn't bad. I mean, it's
sort of blows me away.
It didn't blow me away. It was nice. Nice arena. Liked it. Didn't have a problem with it.
Gorgeous arena.
Gorgeous. That was hard to find some areas in there. I couldn't. The area that Sip and I sat in, it took me and Strick like 25 minutes to find it.
Oh, it took me 3. There was instructions.
We didn't follow the instructions.
Yeah,
we tried to find it. We kept going up and down the staircase, elevators. Oh, wrong level.
Oh.
And then finally we found it.
It took me 3 minutes from the media room.
We did find it. Yeah. Shreveport or Memphis?
Memphis. A bit bigger, more to do. Yeah. I like Shreveport. Shreveport, I get the similar vibe. But Memphis is bigger with more to do.
Before I get to the game show, we have a response here, as you would expect. And this, of course, is going to come. I'm getting a lot of buds in the text line. I had it coming. This is no surprise.
Bud, champ. What are the other buzzwords? Pal, buzz, champ.
No one
There's
says
other
sport
ones
anymore, though. No one says chief.
Chief. You get. Hey, Bo Pelini used to drop a chief on me when he was mad. All right, chief.
Tiger. Hey, Tiger.
I've never heard Tiger.
Boss. Hey,
boss.
Yep.
Bad one. Boss doesn't bother me as much as those other ones, though. Boss is almost, it feels like you're getting complimented. Whatever you say, boss.
Corey Lincoln says, I want my waitress to call me hun. I said, that's a different setting. It's not the doctor's office. It's a waitress. Okay, I get it. Restaurant, fine. I'll deal with it. I'm okay with that.
I've told you I went through a phase where I was calling people baby, and I had to cure myself of it. All right, baby.
Like guys, too? Or just,
sometimes there's guys.
What if you said to Bill? He would slap you in the face, or just like, what?
Nobody ever said anything to me.
Hey, champ, someone says, what about Buddy? Bud, the same thing. It's the same thing. Chubby Rhino, hey, Bud, love the show. Keep it up, champ.
Some people, they don't mean anything by it at all, negative or positive. It's just something to say.
I know.
But it always comes off
But you understand
bad.
where I come from?
Oh, 100. Yeah.
Big fella. Someone says, hey, big fella.
Nah.
Slugger. Bro's not bad. Bro's okay. I can deal with bro. But Bud, don't like that one.
Rick Heyman, hold on.
Oh, Rick Heyman's chiming in?
Chief is when you can't remember people's name.
Yeah, that's fun. That one makes me laugh, though. Hey, Chief.
I always go with Amigo if I can't remember.
Amigo's good.
Yeah.
Fine with that.
If I can't remember someone's name, I just say, hey, Amigo.
Guilt nerd, before I get to, this is going to hurt you. It's about Shreveport, not Memphis. It's about Shreveport. Guilt nerd says, I've been through Shreveport. I got the feeling it was the toilet seat of the South.
Please don't say that. Please don't say that. It was a great bowl
Too late.
game.
Guilt nerd already said it. Can't take it back. It's already said.
I mean, that bowl game, they treat that bowl game like gold down there. They treat it like gold. Nebraska played in it. And it was that city embraces a bowl game. I assume it still does.
take a trip down there sometime. Maybe if Nebraska misses a bowl game again, you go check it out and see who's playing in Shreveport.
Yeah.
Do it.
Memphis Shreveport would be a wonderful double. Just go to Memphis and keep rolling south.
That is Bill's Thrills, Jake's Takes, Sips Tips, all sponsored by Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid-Plains Advisors. Call them at 402-730-7387 to plan your financial future today. Thank you to those guys. And thanks. That was Dem's fighting words.
Bill,
by the way,
will return tomorrow. What's Thursday?
Parenting tips.
Parenting tips.
He'll have tips for us. Okay. So,
yeah.
Let's play the game show. Give us a call right now at 464-5685. Your chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. This will be interesting today because you only have 14 options here. Actually, you have 18 technically with the new schools in the Big Ten.
Okay, so
we know that Troy Dannon is the new AD at Nebraska.
Troy Dannon.
How about other Big Ten athletic directors? I will give you the name of the person. That would be impossible to get. I give you the school. I give you the name. You tell me what school this person is the AD of. Okay, we have 18 options. I'm going to include the new schools coming in.
Okay, this is hard. I mean, I've said this before that it's interesting that you typically don't know the names of ADs.
But guess what? You only have 18 options here, and really
typically
17.
you know some of them.
Yeah, you have 17 because you're not going to say I'm not putting Troy Dannon on the list. Right. That'd be dumb. 464-5685. Shut Up Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
All right, 464-5685. Call the Takedown Sip in trivia. I think you're 2-0 on the week, right? Is that right?
Yep.
2-0 on the week. You won yesterday.
1-1.
1-1? They lost yesterday?
Says Josh. I think I lost on Monday.
No, you won Monday. You lost with Bill yesterday.
Okay.
That's right.
1-1. And we have a caller.
That's right. We got Elion. Elion, how do you feel about Big Ten athletic directors today?
I feel very confident, man.
Okay.
Elion's confident. Guess what? There's no lifelines. Mano-a-mano today.
Where are you driving, Elion? Are you in Lincoln?
Driving to school, baby.
Okay. Go to school.
That's just responsible right
Yeah,
there.
it is.
Driving to school. He's going to school today. All right, Elion. First question goes to you. Here we go. What school in the Big Ten is Mike Babinski the AD at?
Wisconsin.
I like the quick, confident guess. It is incorrect. Sip, do you want Mike Babinski?
Hold on.
Big Ten school. AD.
Pass.
How about Purdue?
Okay, didn't know.
Purdue. All right. First question to you. 0-0 tie. What school is Pat Hobbs the AD at?
I have no earthly idea. I'm going to guess Minnesota.
Not the Gophers. Elion, do you want to steal that or let that one go?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let that one go.
That would be the Rutgers Scarlet Knights.
This is difficult.
There's 18 options.
I got it.
Now we're narrowing the field here.
Yeah, we are.
Okay?
Yes.
All right, Elion, back to you for the lead 0-0 tie. What school in the Big Ten is Chris McIntosh the AD at?
Oh, I do know.
I'm going to go ahead and have to...
What was the answer, Elion? Are you still there?
Yeah. Yeah. Did it knock it out? Iowa.
No. I know this one. I'm going to steal it.
Yeah. Elion, I'm gonna get a strong upper hand here. It's Wisconsin.
Brilliant.
Not over yet, but if you get this right, the game is over.
Right.
Sip 1-0 lead. Last question.
All right.
What Big Ten school is Damon Evans the AD at?
Damon Evans. Damon Evans for the win, Maryland.
Brilliant.
Yes, Damon Evans is the AD at Maryland, and that's a 2-1 start to the week. You win tomorrow, it's a winning week. How about that?
Elian, go to school, study.
I will. Hey, Tip, good game, champ.
Did he say pimp?
Champ.
Oh, champ.
That'd be funny.
He said pimp.
No, he definitely said champ on that one.
I
but
thought he
pimp
said
would be
good
very-
game, pimp. It's okay, Josh. We're fine.
Okay, tiebreaker here.
We're fine.
Tiebreaker. According to the
Every day I got to say something a little bit
yesterday was 3 in the one segment.
inappropriate. Was that inappropriate?
No, that's fine. Okay, so according to the website, this is from sportskita.com. Did some research here.
Sportskita.
All right. What is the average age of a Division I athletic director?
Wow. Wait a second. You did some research on Sportskita?
Well, Sportskita did the website.
I've never heard of Sportskita.
I mean, it's a website, but
Average age of a Division I
athletic director.
Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to say 53.
Ooh, 54 is the answer. You were right there. It's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
You know what? You won the game, so that's all that matters.
Nebraska's new AD is 57.
So he's a little bit above that line.
Troy
above the average.
Troy Dannon, not spelled like the yogurt. It's Dannen. Troy Dannon of Marshalltown, Iowa, is Nebraska's new AD. He's 57. My age.
And he spoke yesterday for half hour plus, right?
Gave us a lot of information. He's very good at the podium, has a presence, has a lot of enthusiasm. And so that's about as far as I'll go. We'll see how this all goes. I suspect it'll go well.
The Spillover is next on Early Break on the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
At Weedman Lawn Care, the term care in our name is more than part of our title. It's the heart of our company culture. If we don't care and support our team members, how can we expect them to care for you and your lawn? As evidenced by Weedman's 5-star reviews online, we consistently show our sincere care for our customers' needs. And we absolutely care for the communities we serve by donating to local schools, baseball fields, food banks, and the Ronald McDonald House. Go to weedman.com now. Our caring culture will give your family the lawn it deserves.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. We believe in treating every client with respect, compassion, and understanding. We know that navigating the legal system is stressful and overwhelming, but Liberty Law Group will carry that burden for you. When you're facing legal issues, make the right call. 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Looking for a job that feels like family? Join Lincoln Industries, where tradition meets innovation. They're a family-owned, privately held manufacturing company with a passion for excellence and a commitment to their community. They have openings on all shifts at both the main plant and air park facilities, offering flexibility to fit your schedule. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, there's a place for you there. At Lincoln Industries, they invest in their people's success, providing opportunities for growth and advancement. Apply now and become a part of something special at Lincoln Industries.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
This is Monster Jam. Witness big air, two-wheel skills, backflips, and all-out racing. It's the only place to see the world's best riders tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks, like Grave Digger, El Toro Loco, Megalodon, and more. It's big-time fun for the whole family. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. This Friday and Saturday at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Brought to you by BKT Tires, Great Clips, and the original Super Glue.
Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year. Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $15 off any regular price athletic shoes with respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, and On Running. And don't forget, Browns carries a large arrangement of sizes and widths to fit your feet properly. Start your spring off right at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Empower a child today with a Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Just myself and Sip again today for the Spillover, sponsored by Computer Hardware. Stop by and see Trip at 70th and O or in Kearney, Hastings, and GI. 4 locations, Computer Hardware, all for your Apple products, computer, watches, phones, and more. Okay.
We're spilling over.
We have not mentioned the story yet at all. It's not Nebraska related at all. We've a lot of Troy Dannon talk today, understandably so. There's a story in the NFL that you might be curious about.
Okay.
Yeah, last year there was a very successful broadcast, last couple of years, on Christmas Day. Okay, NFL games on Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
Now the NFL has been expanding to more days of the week. You know, we see it on Thursday Night Football. We see some Saturdays in December, Sunday night, of course, Monday night. The NFL announced yesterday that they will have not 1, but 2 Christmas games this year on Wednesday. Wednesday NFL football. So that week, the only day without a game will be Tuesday.
Wow.
They will have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We'll have Friday football also that day. That week. Saturday, Sunday.
My natural reaction is
Wednesday seems,
I don't like it's a little oversaturation. They got to be careful. The NFL has taken over as far as the most popular sport in the United States, right?
I think it always has been.
Popular league.
I
don't know. Has it always been?
Yeah, I think it always has been.
Major League Baseball?
It's pulling away, though.
Wasn't Major League Baseball at one point, maybe?
But they're in the conversation, but I think NFL's been king for a long time.
No. 70s. I'm going back.
Okay,
I'm going back a long time. Yeah.
Fine.
I'm not sure that you would say in the 70s that the NFL was bigger than Major League Baseball. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's older people
Breakers,
out there.
help us out.
Yeah, it hasn't always been, but NFL is the king.
Yes.
The king. But they can abuse that. This strikes me as oversaturation.
Wednesday. So have they said that the teams playing will guarantee be playing on Saturday the week before? So they will not be. It won't be Sunday and 2 days of rest and then the game. That's still not much rest. That's like a Sunday to a Thursday in terms of the delay.
And I'm thinking about, you got to think about the players' safety, all that. I mean, and I don't mean that flippantly, but I always think about the saturation part. Make us want it. Make us want it. But that's not
do it every day. I don't want it as much.
That's not what we're about in America. It seems like it's just everything. You want everything right now, and then you get it.
Well, and to me, and this is selfish too. Like I like to go to the sports bar on Sunday and watch all the football. I'll be there for 6 hours watching the noon games, 3 o'clock games.
Okay.
When you've got 2 games on Christmas Day, and then you got Friday, Saturday, Monday, you have like 6 games max on Sunday. It feels like, right?
Yeah.
You're taking away that, and that's playoff time. We're talking about 2 weeks before the playoffs.
You always used to think about NFL Sunday. Now they've cut into that. That's what you're talking
Still
about.
a big deal, but like especially that week again. That's going to be 2 weeks, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks prior to the playoffs. So big, important time. And you're talking about during holiday season, a very cutback NFL Sunday to have it spread out throughout the week.
See, I think I just have an unpopular stance on it. Just because I think college football is oversaturated, and that's unpopular. People are like, "You're crazy." I don't think there should be. Now, Bill, if Bill was here, he'd kill me. He'd kill me for saying this. I don't like 15 to 20 games available on TV on a Saturday. Make us want some. I think it diminishes the excitement. I think and I'm not suggesting we go back to 1975 when there were 2 games on Saturday or 1, and Nebraska had 1 or 2 or 3 games on national TV, and that was it. I loved it. I love that. I mean, but I know I'm not. I know I represent an extreme minority in that argument.
Right.
I know that. I'm aware.
And you still watch those games, by the way.
What?
You still watch the games on the TV? All these 25 options?
No, I don't, because I'm covering Nebraska. So I don't. It's a long day, so I'll try to catch one game.
You've told me before on bye weeks you like to sit down in front of the TV from 11 a.m. until midnight and watch football all day. And you said you can't wait for it.
Till 10.
You said before, I can't wait.
It's true, but it's a different situation for me because I don't get to do that every Saturday. And I would tell you, if I got to do it every Saturday, it would probably wear off.
So you're saying that one time is a luxury for you.
It's beautiful. I mean, I do like that Saturday where I'm off and I can just get a burrito and settle into the recliner at 10 a.m. and just
watch ball,
dive into it.
Give me that remote.
But if it was like that every week, it would wear off.
Okay, that's respectable. I respect that take. So again, NFL, 2 games, Christmas Day, which is not uncommon, but it's a Wednesday this year. So there you go.
Anything else going on?
I don't think so.
Oh, there's a lot going on, and we'll have to. There's a lot going on with the transfer portal in Nebraska basketball. They lost
Blaise Keita.
Yeah, Blaise Keita is the 3rd player to hop into the portal. Now, Fred, here's what's going to get interesting. Player retention, keeping the core together, but also now you got guys. You can go get guys. I mean, there's 3 guys gone. There's spots available. Who are they getting?
It's kind of fun.
Who are they getting? You got to get I think a high volume shooter, scorer, guard type like Casey to try to replace Casey's production. Okay, you're always looking for bigs. Somebody or a rim runner like Josiah Alec. You're looking for that. For those 2 things for sure. Mainly, I think you got to get a scorer in here. A good shooting guard, wing person. So this is going to get interesting. I mean, Fred's got a good core coming back. Can you keep that core together? And what are you adding?
That's the big question.
What are you adding?
How soon do we know when you get people added?
Nebraska is in a good situation NIL wise. If I were Fred, I would make sure that I have a package put together, a video package of what the PBA game experience is like. What we saw down the stretch in those games against Rutgers and Penn State and Minnesota, when it was packed, jam-packed, and it was super loud. I mean, it was super loud. I'd have a video package detailing that to guys because you don't find that everywhere.
You don't. It's an attractive place to play. packed arena, passionate crowd.
You're gonna make money here.
You can do
and
that.
you got a good coach who's just got it, who's stable.
He's gonna be here for a while.
There's stability. How could you not sell it?
It's on the way up. Don't let it happen like 10 years ago where it felt like on the way up and it just kind of crashed and burned.
Jake,
the next year.
You're a salesman. How could you not sell this?
It's very easy. Right now, Nebraska is very easy to sell.
As a basketball program.
Yeah.
PBA.
We have money. We have
with
fans.
Coach with stability, returning core coming off an NCAA tournament appearance, Big Ten. How do you not sell that?
Seems pretty easy to me.
Yeah.
Pretty easy. That's it for us. The Drive with Raf, AD, and Amon Green is next for Steve Sipple. I am Jake Sorensen. We will see you tomorrow.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings